you'll be able to remember in the sectioning patterns pretty much the same that we've been doing all the way through our cutting unit so far. So if we start off by taking our profile parting from front hairline and all the way back to the nape of the neck. Then we're going to create our first guideline from our profile parting, the same width as the internal part of your eyebrows. We're going to take a small section of hair and we're going to cut it at 90 degrees to the shape of the head. I only want you to take off an inch. So with good tension, lift the hair up to 90 degrees to the shape of the head, placing your comb in your thumb and your finger, and then taking off 1 inch. Moving down the profile parting, remembering the shape of the head, holding up with firm tension, seeing your guideline there, and taking off 1 inch. Dropping down some of your section again, making sure that your scissors are palmed. I want you to go down to 1 inch below the crown and just above the occipital bone at the back. So if I turn my doll's head around, should be around there. Holding it out to 90 degrees to the shape of the head, and then over direct it up to 90 degrees. Don't worry if some hair falls out of the back, because previously we did go through the uniform layer, so some hair will drop out. Then going on to the other side of the profile parting, using the first mesh of hair as your guideline, you're going to take a small section and again repeat the whole process. Holding it up 90 degrees to the shape of the head, and then taking off your inch. If you cannot see your guideline, then make sure your mesh of hair is thinner. Moving again along the head, remembering it's round, we're holding that up to 90 degrees and taking that inch off. Drop a section and keep a section. Then making sure that we're going down to 1 inch below the crown. So that's 90 degrees. And then over direct it up to 90 degrees. Re-establish your profile parting, and then put in your radial. Your radial section will go from your crown to the front hairline, to the top of the ear, sorry. Okay, so from the crown to the top of the ear, and then we're creating that radial section. Same on the other side. From the crown to the top of the ear, making sure our sections are all nice and clean. So, working on the back section from behind both ears, we are now taking our guideline from the profile parting that we've just done previously. And again, moving along the left side, we are taking in small subsections. So when we're cutting this side, we want to be standing this side of our client. Taking our first section, turning down, and again just below that crown, holding it out at 90 degrees, and then over directing it to our center profile. So if you can imagine, we're trying to create like a box shape. So that will be our square layer. Moving along the left side in our small subsections, taking our guideline from our previous section, we're going to continue all the way until behind the left ear, holding it out to 90 degrees and then over directing it up and taking our inch off. So going down an inch below the crown and over directing up at 90 degrees and taking off our inch. Last section, just behind the left ear. I think my doll needs a conditioning treatment. Okay. Holding it up to 90 degrees over directed and taking off that inch. Then moving to the right side, behind the right ear, we swap our body positions, taking our guideline from our center profile. We're going to take our first subsection an inch below the crown, and over directing that up and taking your inch off. Moving across in our subsections, making sure we're brushing out the way of the hair that we don't want to cut. Holding it out to 90 degrees and then up. Taking our last section out at 90 degrees, over directing up, still keeping at 90 degrees and taking off our inch. Moving through the sides. Okay, so now our guideline is going to come from our profile parting and from our radial section in the mid. So moving forward, in small subsections. Comb a small mesh of hair out to 90 degrees and over, directing up. Making sure that our sections are clean at all times. Holding the hair up, over directing it to the centre and taking our inch off. When you get to your last section at the front, I want you to kind of just over direct that back slightly, just to retain a little bit of length. So again, out to 90 degrees, over directing it up into the centre and then taking off our inch. Repeating the whole process on the opposite side. Out, over directing, and you can just kind of see there my guideline that we made from the profile parting, and then we're taking our inch off. Again, moving forward in our small subsections. Out at 90 degrees, over direct up. I can see my guideline there, and then I'm going to take my inch off. I also today want to talk about fringes. So you will do different types of fringes on your clients. As you can see, my model at the moment has got a full fringe. If you're cutting a full fringe, make sure you re-establish your profile parting. Decide in your consultation how deep you want your fringe to be. More likely, like the gents will kind of sweep it over, but today I just want to show you how to do a full fringe just because my model has already got one. So re-establish your profile parting. And then we're going to make like a little triangle section. So I'm going to take a diagonal forward section and I'm going to do it so it meets the end of that eyebrow there. Then I'm just going to clip that away. And I'm going to do it exactly the same on the opposite side. Taking from my centre profile there and just lining it up with the edge of my client's eyebrow. And then just picking that out of the eye. So, in consultation with my lady earlier, we decided that we were going to do a straight across fringe and maybe just chipped in to the outside of it. So, going from the centre, we're going to hold it in the comb first of all to gain the shape with medium tension, and we're just going to point cut. So I'm using just the tips of my blades. So we're just point cutting along that guideline. Again, we're just point cutting, just giving a little bit of texture so it's not such a solid line. And then check for balance. You can also do this underneath the comb. So without too much tension, holding your blades directly adjacent to the comb, and we're just point cutting. Very visual. And again, work along, make sure the hair's nice and straight. Use your comb and your scissors to direct the hair down. And shallow point cut along the guideline. And there we have the fringe. Okay? So, today team, it is a little bit different. I want you to practice your square layer as I've just said, and I also want you to put in a full fringe. But I want you to keep your full fringe no shorter than the jaw there. Please do not cut it up to there because I want to practice quite a few times. So cut your fringe so it ends up underneath the jaw there. Not only the square layer that I want you to practice, but also practice cutting your guideline round the perimeter. So do the whole complete haircut. If you have your kit, please will you blow dry it with a flat brush, nice and smooth. Then I would like you to post the video on Teams in slow motion. Hope you have fun today team, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.